Our world is a beautiful place. We can pick any topic and we can still get the most interesting information about it. And this is just all that is on land. This does include the air and the sea. There is a lot we can talk of, from the human perspective and nature. There is a lot of impressive stuff we can talk about. What about the vastness of the universe? That is a whole topic on its own. The stars and all the secret planets that can habit plants and animals. Maybe heaven and hell are also out there in space. Let's start. There has been a current obsession with AI recently, and it has taken over everything, from running autonomous vehicles and bridging the gap between the brilliant and less interested in education. ChatGPT is now in its fourth version, and it's now more powerful than ever. All that is left is to test whether it can run robots and unleash hell on Earth. Anyway, the highest point on Earth depends mostly. The highest point on Earth is the Himalayas ranges, that keeps on growing, being two plates colliding upwards. The highest mountain from base to top is the Mount Everest, king of the world, and I'm sure even the dogs and cats know that. Highest point along the equator is not even the Kilimanjaro in Africa. It's about fourth along the equator. The main mountain along the equator is Kanchenjunga Mountain in Nepal. The rest are in India, Argentina, then Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. I have to say, the guy in the video have a very nice view, and that has to be the most dangerous yet captivating view worth making, unless you slip up and fall to your death. Anyway, next. These are the northern lights, aka Aurora Borealis. The lines formed in the sky blame the magnetic field, sun position, and weather pattern. Rocks and forests. Let's see. Forests bring rain and food to animals and humans, directly and indirectly. But more interesting is the rocks and all it contains. Metal, ornaments, blings, coal, cement. I will just keep going as most of the value and security comes from how we work the types of rocks. The ones we see in particular should be sedimentary due to its proximity to water. But what do I know? I am just a voice on the internet. Waterfalls. All I can say is these give electricity. Now let's get to the interesting part. I am sure you have heard about the oceans. Now this one in particular, we have the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean. These two appear to not be able to mix, but I have a theory about this. Being oceans, it all depends on the salt content of the particular ocean. Now where do these salts come from? Of course, the underlying bed. One side is rich with the sodium salts, while the other I can suspect magnesium salts. Being a voice on the internet, I don't know which is which. Try GPT for accurate results. Tell us in the comments, then I will do a part 2 of it. Now let us look at jungles, forests, and rivers. I see rivers. Longest, Nile in Africa, and second is Amazon. Amazon is having too much stuff. I think they also have Amazon Prime. Haha. Quick question. Who knows the difference between the two? The jungle versus the forest. I have a theory. The diverse nature dictates the difference. The homogeneous the trees, it is bound to be called a forest. Anyway, time to bluff. Upon current statistics, we place the Amazon jungle as the largest one, and for the forest I think the Congo still leads. That place is dense. Never been though. From the video we can see lagoons. That is angry water that goes back to land and takes over the area. Take my word. All that is left is mangrove trees taking over the lagoon itself, maybe in a 100-year period. Final points left on nature. Snow comes from water and vapor in very cold temperatures. But this is basic chemistry, the view on this piece. Epic, I tell you. Let's go on, though. Such type of hills and mountains do affect the weather in terms of rain and wind. Clouds also. But for sunlight, you are all on your own. Rivers start from the snow that melts out in the mountains, as you can see from the video. It starts out small, but continuous rainfall give it enough to sustain the river through the year. But they all start out as erosion gullies anyway, but I digress. Now let's just go to buildings. There is a lot, and I still believe we can stick to the real original gangsters of buildings. Pyramids. Building them is just the first part. Being the first civilization that had excesses of slaves who worked to see those old triangles stand trough out millennia. A lot of my respect goes to those workers. Them buildings still stand. Easiest option when building these marvels. Limestone blocks. It makes sense when you think about it. Lighter than the boulder and much easier to work with and bond with each other. Current knowledge, these are tombs. Hidden secret, they were more than just tombs. Ladies and gentlemen, the pyramids of Egypt stand as silent sentinels to a history filled with as many mysteries as marvels. Despite millennia of study, much about these ancient structures remains unknown. We lack definitive proof of how these massive blocks were precisely cut and transported, with theories suggesting everything from ramps to levitation. No hieroglyphs inside the pyramids of Giza detail their construction, leaving us to speculate. Even the purpose of certain chambers and the exact methods of aligning these structures with the stars are still subjects of debate. As we continue to probe these enigmatic monuments, they remind us that some secrets of our past may forever elude us, wrapped in the sands of time. My intelligence sometimes impresses me. Animals, lions, king of the savannas. Enough said. Elephants, largest and also heaviest land dweller. These things are huge. The toll their knees face to carry their weight, immense. At old age, it's the first thing that goes. They are also very intelligent animals, these ones. They have favorites, they can plan, and have perfect memory. Never cross them. Their children are called calves. These calves see human beings as very cute, the way humans see puppies. This is the funny part. Shown is the African elephant, the most violent of its species. Their Asian counterparts are more docile and live with humans. I swear most of the every African version of every animal is ruthless. They get their food from trees. They love acacia tree leaves so much. On the odd days, they raid people's farms to try out new foods. Oldest recorded elephant reached 80 years, and this is in the perfect conditions. So we can speculate they live to around that age. And they are strong, like really strong. Just know when they want to eat tree leaves, they bring it down. At least 2 trees per day. Rhinos. They have horns in the wrong place and are built like tanks. Giraffes. They are the tallest. My God, look at the size of that neck. There are so many jokes I can make about that neck. We would be here for 2 hours. Similar diet to elephants and eat from trees. That neck, though. These guys have to sleep while standing, by the way. I'm sure they spend their life standing, making it tough. But their advantage is when they kick, it's a strike of death. This is their defense and ensures their safety. At this point, I seem like a herbivore defender. But keep calm. These are the animals that have built tactics and mechanisms that ensure their continuity. Back to that neck, they seem to be able to stick up for each other when attacked too. These ones are only found in Africa, unless carried by plane into other regions. The savanna is our setup. The grassland is found in Africa and supports diverse species through its vast food web. Being this big, the antelopes and lions are the more dominant species supported by the grassland. The savanna spreads over a large area and heavily depends on the rain that comes at the mid part of the year. We dive into the fascinating world of zebras, an animal so distinctive that it's etched in our minds with their iconic black and white stripes. Let's embark on a journey to understand these remarkable creatures, not just for their beauty, but for the lessons they carry for us. First off, zebras aren't just visually striking, they're a riddle wrapped in stripes. Each zebra's stripe pattern is as unique as our fingerprints, serving as a natural ID card in the vast African savannas where they roam. But why stripes? Theories abound. Some scientists believe these stripes baffle predators, making it hard to pick out an individual in a herd. Others suggest it's a defense against biting flies, which seem to be confused by the high contrast patterns. There's even research indicating that stripes help in thermoregulation, reflecting more heat than absorbing it, keeping zebras cooler under the African sun. But zebras are more than their patterns. They are social beings, living in groups known as harems or herds, where bonds are tight and cooperation is key. These communities are led by a dominant stallion who protects his family from threats like lions or hyenas. Yet within this structure, there's a fascinating democracy. If the herd senses danger, they don't just scatter. They form defensive circles, protecting the young and the weak, showcasing a level of community spirit that could teach us a thing or two about teamwork and protection. Speaking of lessons, zebras embody resilience. Born into a world where predators lurk, a foal can stand and run within an hour of birth. This rapid adaptation isn't just for survival, it's a testament to the incredible adaptability of life. Zebras have survived through millennia, adapting to various environments from the open plains of the Serengeti to the mountainous regions of Namibia. They remind us that change is part of life, and with resilience, we can weather any storm. But here's an interesting twist. While we see zebras as symbols of freedom, galloping across open landscapes, they've resisted domestication. Unlike horses, zebras are fiercely independent, with a temperament that's too wild for taming. It's a poignant reminder of the value of freedom and individuality, even in the animal kingdom. In closing, zebras are not just another animal on the savannah. They are a symbol of identity, community, resilience, and freedom. Their existence challenges us to see beyond the black and white, to appreciate the complexity and beauty of life. As we leave here today, let's carry with us the spirit of the zebra, to stand out in our uniqueness, to protect our community, to adapt and overcome, and to cherish our freedom. Thank you for joining me on this striped adventure. Like and subscribe,